Well, welcome to an episode of Wrestling Life. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always, on all podcast platforms, everywhere, Brandon Janeau Show, social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, Brandon Janeau, Facebook, The Brandon Janeau Show, and of course, TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show. Oh, this show is going to get very interesting on TikTok when I post these clips. But Brandon Janeau Show on all those social media platforms. Go follow me on all of those social media platforms. I would appreciate it deeply. Um, Really, where you go is the is the YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show YouTube channel. Go subscribe, comment. I do comment back if I see the comments. Uh, um, like the vids, like the shorts, helps in the algorithm. Um, Definitely helps me in the algorithm if you do. Um, so let's get into it. Like I said, this is Wrestling Life, a series I do for my Brandon Janeau Show, where I talk about wrestling. And wrestling this past weekend was interesting to say the least. Listen, since Saturday, it's been crazy pandemonium on social media, particularly when it comes to, I would say, super crazy bad on social media. I would say more so on TikTok. TikTok has been just like people just been just ripping the WWE to shreds on TikTok. Um, but let's talk about it, man. So this past weekend was WrestlePalooza and AEW's All Out. They both finally they both had PLEs. Well, AEW calls it a pay per view, but both of them had pay per views, PLEs on the same day for the first. This is the first time that WWE has ran a main the main roster PLE against AEW since shit I can't even remember when's the last time they actually ran a main roster pay per view against AEW. Um, It's always been NXT. It's not. It hasn't been a WWE main roster pay per view in a minute. They've done Saturday night main events and shit, but never to the extent of a WWE, pay per view main roster stars on it. Um, what do I think of both PLE, both shows? They both sucked. They both sucked. I have been on this bandwagon for the entire year. Wrestling has not been good in 2025. It has sucked. Both companies pretend like the bare minimum is good for fans to just get involved in. And Saturday was a perfect example of both companies doing the status fucking quo. AEW does a bunch of fucking gimmicky matches. They think they're ECW and they're fucking not. They do a bunch of fucking gimmicky matches. Y'all are excited over returns that won't lead to fucking shit. You're gonna get returns that don't lead to fucking nothing. Y'all swear to God that the storylines are finally clicking on AEW when actuality they are not fucking clicking, because if they were fucking clicking, they would be selling out arenas and not doing fucking bingo halls. And they wouldn't be getting their ass handed to them in the ratings by NXT. And maybe because of how bad WWE was at WrestlePalooza, y'all have driven people into y'all parking lot. Maybe. But for people that sitting there saying AEW All Out was way better than WrestlePalooza, no, the fuck it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was the same fucking pay per view they have run since the beginning of this fucking year. Bunch of fucking blood, bunch of fucking gimmicky matches, stupid ass finishes, stupid ass endings. And you're just sitting there like, okay, what the fuck was this? But let the people on social media tell you it was way better. Don't get it twisted. WWE didn't help themselves out at all at WrestlePalooza. I have said it wasn't a bad show, but I think but like I said, exactly what I said Saturday night after the rave review show has actually happened in the senses of WWE, which is the two matches that you had will immediately tank the rest of the show, because then people will sit there and say the rest of the show just did not hit. You have 5 matches. AEW had 13. It's just like, what the fuck? WWE has done this since Wrestle fucking Mania. they have done the bare minimum in the booking department. I don't know why the fuck they think the bare minimum is going to get them what they want. And it just isn't that. I don't know why people think this is a smart idea in the goddamn booking department of WWE. But I digress, man. I think people again. I think people on social media jumped out the window and sat there. It was like, oh man, AEW was just just extremely better. No, it wasn't. The fuck were y'all watching? The fuck it wasn't. The fuck were y'all watching? What were you watching? It's the same shit I see every fucking week on AEW. A bunch of fucking nothing. Moving, going into nothing. The fuck are you talking about? Y'all swear to God the storylines are better now. What storylines? The Death Riders still are together. Nothing's changed. Matter of fact, you added Pac back. You brought Pac back. You added Danny Garcia. You might be adding Chris Statlander, who just won the AEW Women's Championship. No diss to Chris Statlander. She deserved the title. But then you just announced that Chris Statlander is going to fight Mira Shirakawa on fucking Wednesday. Why? 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 Why the fuck is this happening? Why? Mina Shirakawa, who I think has the Ring of Honor women's title, one of their Ring of Honor titles. Why is this happening? What the fuck do they have to do with each other? The fuck do they have to do with each other? Don't tell me I don't watch this show because that's y'all deflector. It's like, oh, you don't watch the show, bro. Do you even watch the fucking show? Or you just lying to yourself and telling yourself that you're gonna paint this narrative no matter what the fuck happens? You're just gonna paint this fucking narrative. I don't know what the fuck happened Saturday night, but I know one thing. Neither one of these companies came out smelling like fucking roses. Y'all are literally on social media debating shit and trying to see which shit didn't smell like shit. It all smelled like shit. All of it was bad. What the fuck are you talking about? These are the same fans that sit there and tell you that AJ Lee, CM Punk, Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins was too long. It was 30 minutes and it was too long. But then praise a 40-minute fucking main event in a 5-hour fucking show. And the damn ending was just as predictable as going into it as it ever was. But you swear to God, that was a 5-star match and a star was made that night. You mean the motherfucker that got the title? You mean the motherfucker that's already a TNT champion? Who is really like your intercontinental champion in your company? But you swear to God, Kyle Fletcher's career was made that night. How the fuck can a dude already who has a title career be made now? Because he lost. The fuck are you talking about? You know what you sound like? You sound like a lot of these fans that was saying that shit about Logan Paul when he lost to Roman Reigns. Probably are the same damn fans. I'm probably probably are the same damn fans, to be honest with you. Neither one of these companies were great. Neither one of them. Nothing changed on either side. WWE, I said this shit Saturday. I said John Cena and Brock Lesnar had no story. It was stupid. It didn't make sense. I don't know why people got upset that Brock beat John Cena when they have always had a match and Brock Lesnar has beaten the shit out of John Cena and he's won most of those matches. What the fuck were you upset about? Because this is a retirement tour. We all knew he was going to lose to Brock Lesnar. Who the fuck told you he was going to beat Brock Lesnar? Who fuck told y'all that? Again, you're getting in your feelings over nothing. Now, John Cena, listen, man. I get John trying to sit there and politic and act like, I don't want to say politic, but he's trying to act like he has done nothing. Like he has no real, say so on what he wants to do with his retirement tour. I don't believe that shit at all. I think he's trying to relate himself to the fans, and this is what the fans want. So I'm gonna sit here and act like I want the same thing that y'all want. I don't believe that shit at all. I think John Cena knows exactly what the fuck was happening. I do believe John Cena. If John Cena was supposed to win that match Saturday, which was stupid if he did, because what the fuck would be the point of winning the match against Brock Lesnar? What would be the point of it? I didn't understand that. Especially when your record against Brock Lesnar has never been good. You've always lost to Brock Lesnar. Why the fuck would you win now? Because you're on a retirement tour? That's fucking stupid. But John Cena has officially got one thing that he wanted, and that is, well, everybody wanted, right? And that is AJ Styles and John Cena. That is now officially happening at Crown Jewel. Great. Again, John Cena's not going to be on TV. AJ Styles is going to have to sell his match, and you only got 2 weeks to do it. Again, it's not going. John's not going to be on TV, and AJ Styles got to sell his goddamn match, and you only got 2 weeks to do it. Now, some of y'all gonna sit there and say it doesn't need a story. Some of the best things about that storyline, particularly that rivalry, was them in promo work. That promo battles that they had doing those matches were incredible. That promo that John Cena cut on AJ Styles at Raw, before the Royal Rumble match they had was incredible. Like, why would you not want to see John Cena and AJ Styles in a promo battle before they have one final match? That's very stupid. That's very stupid. But yet, you got what you wanted. I just been watching everybody on social media, really, pretty much, and just watching everybody trying to just explain why WWE is just in this complete and total financial ruin. Like they just don't know what they're doing. It sucks. It's all this shit. And I came to the conclusion of I think y'all been plotting on. I think y'all want WWE to fail, and I get it. AEW is the underdog. AEW is the new breed, the new company. I get it. I understand it. I totally understand it. But I truly also believe that it's not happening the way y'all planned it. And you want to sit here and say WWE Saturday was terrible and it was the worst thing on the planet and I hated the PLE and all that other shit. Cool. Do your thing. It is 100% your opinion. But the way y'all was talking about AEW was like this fucking PLE was leaps and bounds better. Like it changed the face of wrestling. It's like, no, the fuck it didn't. It was the same shit as always been. Y'all realize a man was set on fire? A man was set on fire at AEW All Out. And not a motherfucking person is talking about it except me. Nobody's talking about that shit. John Moxley was set on fucking fire and still won the match. But yet AEW was leaps and bounds better than WWE Saturday. I fucking guess, dude. I fucking guess, dude. Don't get it twisted. But the way y'all talk about WWE, like the booking in WWE has just been tripped. Now, let me stop right there. Has the booking been better? Could the booking be better? Extremely fucking better. Holy shit, could the booking be better? It could be completely better. I have said this numerous times. SmackDown is one of the most unwatchable shows I've ever seen in wrestling, and I've been watching wrestling since I was a child. SmackDown is one of the most unwatchable fucking shows I have ever seen in my life. It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks, man. It's just terrible. It's a terrible fucking show. There's nothing going on in that show. There's nothing they can do in that show. It fucking sucks, man. Triple H has to book that better, like tremendously better. SmackDown sucks. SmackDown sucks. And again, and I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, the reason why a lot of people don't like this booking from Triple H because some of y'all do believe still that he was supposed to bring back that black and gold NXT, and he didn't do it, and he didn't do it, and he didn't do it. But a lot of y'all leave out the fact that NXT was his show. Vince McMahon didn't give a shit about NXT. He didn't give a single solitary fuck about NXT. So Triple H got a chance to run it however he saw fit. He brought in a bunch of fucking indie wrestlers that was on the indies doing amazing, and he brought them into NXT and they killed and they did amazing on that stage. But in the WWE sense, he can't do that. He can't do that on a main roster. He can't do that. He can't do that because he has to capitulate to Netflix. So some of these booking decisions that he probably has, he's got to capitulate to Netflix. Netflix tells him, "Hey, we want Roman Reigns, and we want Cody Rhodes, and we want Seth Rollins, and we want all the stars, pretty much. Rhea Ripley and now AJ Lee, and they want all the stars." And he's got to capitulate to that. So it's kind of hard to book shows when you got to capitulate to a fucking other company that's telling you, "We want this, we want that." Could the booking be better? Hell yeah. The booking could be extremely fucking better. But we act like the booking wasn't great at all this year. Now I could sit here and tell truths, and I'll be honest. I have been on this bandwagon all fucking year. WWE booking sucks. It has not been great. Triple H don't know what the fuck he's doing sometimes. But we're gonna pretend like the Royal Rumble wasn't a good pay per view. Are we about to pretend like the Royal Rumble wasn't a good PLE? Are we about to pretend like the Elimination Chamber wasn't one of the best PLEs we had saw all fucking year? The Royal Rumble had the returns of Alexa Bliss, Nikki Bella, Charlotte Flair. Jordan Grace finally arrived in WWE as a WWE wrestler. You had Liv and Io kick off the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble. Roxanne showed who she could really be in that Royal Rumble. The Women's Royal Rumble was amazing. Now you could not like the ending, which was Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble. It is what it is, but yeah. This and then the Motor City Machine Guns and the DIY situation match was good. It wasn't bad. It was just the crowd was dead after that. I mean, you just watch literally, you know, 30 women go out there and kill and having an incredible Royal Rumble. And then on top of that, you had a stupid ass way of how all those women got eliminated. It just really made the crowd be like, what the fuck? But the Royal Rumble wasn't bad. Like I said, the DIY match and then Motor City Machine Guns, you had the Street Profits come back and take out them, and then it led to the Street Profits winning the tag team titles. That Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens match is one of the best goddamn matches this year. That ladder match for the titles, the WWE Championship, is one of the best one of the best matches this year. Go watch it. It's one of the. It was just a bunch of fucking ladders, spots, yeah, but it was a bunch of fucking. It was great. It was fucking great. And then it ended with Jey Uso winning one of the most stacked fucking men's Royal Rumbles of all time. We got a surprise that none of us thought was happening. Roman's in that Royal Rumble. John Cena's in that Royal Rumble. CM Punk's in that Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, Penta. All of those names. And Jey Uso was the one that won it? What? He's sitting there like, what? That was a shocker. Like, it was just like, whoa. fuck was that? It shocked the shit out of us. It was like, whoa, okay, yeah, that works. And then we moved on. We kept going. The Elimination Chamber. Are we about to sit up here and pretend like the Elimination Chamber PLE isn't probably one of the greatest booked PLEs that Triple H has done probably in his entire fucking time he's been a fucking booker? We really about to sit up here and lie? From the literally the beginning of the PLE, when Jay Cargill's music hits and all the women's in the chamber and everybody's looking around and Bianca and Naomi like yeah, go get her, go get Liv. And she fucking bent that corner. She bent that corner. Oh my God. And she bent that corner and started tagging. Oh my God. Yo, man, she beat the hell out of her. She beat the shit. Man, you sitting there like, ooh, shit. Which led to Naomi in one of the best heel turns all fucking year. Which led to later on in the year, her winning the Money in the Bank and winning the fucking title. All relates to that Elimination Chamber. All relates to that Elimination Chamber. Liv going out there and killing. Absolutely killing. Bianca, the sell that she sold in that fucking match. Just watching, crying, just distraught, just the what the fuck just happened? And she goes on and wins the Elimination Chamber. What the fuck? She wins the Elimination Chamber. She's going up the ramp. Here comes Rhea. And Rhea's like, let's do this. But then Io comes out, which leads to the next Monday night where Rhea and Io happen like 48 hours later, and Io beats Rhea. And everybody's like, oh shit, that did not happen. Which I've been known Io was going to somehow be in the WrestleMania match. I knew that shit was happening. You can't have one of the best wrestlers in the world not on the fucking WrestleMania card. That was stupid. And then we got the triple threat match at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We're going to pretend like that match didn't happen this year? Are we pretending like that match didn't happen this year? Like that did not happen this motherfucking year? One of the best goddamn matches all fucking year? Tiffany, Trish, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, it is what it is. Just like the DIY and Motor City Machine Guns match. It needed to be a filler, and you gave it a filler. And then what was the last match? The men's Elimination Chamber. Those final three, Punk, Seth, Cena. Those final three in that ring. Fucking fantastic. Leads to Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, which was a really good match. Rivalry, not so fucking much, but the match was good. Logan Paul was just there. But the ending, Punk getting set out, eliminating Seth, and then Punk trying to escape John Cena and gets fucking stomped in the cell. John Cena pulls him back, and Seth closes the cell door. And he's looking at Punk. I want you to die. And Cena wins. And of course, it leads to what else? The fucking heel turn. And that's what the fuck I want to start really talk about. Because right after that heel turn, the booking for WWE went down fucking hill. Went downhill. And ever since then, Triple H has been playing safe and sorry. Like he's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I would easily tell you that. It feels like he got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like he's booking, but he isn't gonna overload the chamber because he doesn't want to. I have said this numerous times about Triple H. This motherfucker books shit long term. Great. But he doesn't know when it's time to pivot. He doesn't know when it's time to pivot. Like today, he was forced into John Cena and AJ Styles. Let's be 100. He was forced into that match. He didn't want to probably get that fucking match to John Cena. He probably had other plans for John Cena. Probably was gonna probably do another Brock and John Cena match at Crown Jewel. Fuck, who knows? But the fans wanted what they want. You got what you want, and now we're getting John Cena versus AJ Styles. Now, here's the thing with that too. I want the fans to understand this. I don't want to hear you motherfuckers complain. If this match does not go the way you expect, if this match does not happen the way you expect, if John Cena and AJ Styles do not go out there and kill, absolutely kill, I don't want to hear y'all get on social media and be like, well, there was no story. And what do we expect? It was poorly booked. No, it wasn't poorly fucking booked. You forced this match into existence. So if this match don't live up to the hype that y'all keep thinking it will, and by the way, this is the first time they've gone one-on-one in since what? 2016, 2017? Since Royal Rumble 2017? That's what, 8 fucking years? You expect these dudes to pull back the clock for 8 years and go in there and have a great match. Now, AJ Styles is still wrestling at an all-time level. John Cena's had some really great matches in the last couple of months. Well, particularly August. Yeah. In that Sami Zayn match. The Brock Lesnar match, it was never going to be great. It was never going to be great. Anybody that thought that match was going to be some 20-minute opening banger, you're fucking delusional. Brock Lesnar does the same shit every match, every night, and this is why I never liked Brock Lesnar's second run in WWE. I fucking hated it because it was the same shit every fucking time. But yet, let y'all tell it, that was great until it wasn't. And like I said, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear y'all sit here and talk about some, oh, the booking sucked and they could have did this. Nope. I don't hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. It is only 2 weeks. That's all we got. Figure it the fuck out in 2 fucking weeks. But that heel turn for John Cena, I think fucked up creative. It torpedo creative. Yes, Triple H deserves a lot of blame. He definitely does. But I'm not going to act like The Rock didn't also set off creative and put creative in a bad fucking place, too. The Rock came back, put himself in a fucking story, put himself in a story, created a storyline. This nigga created a whole storyline. And then didn't do shit after he created it. Didn't do a fucking thing. Didn't come out at WrestleMania. Didn't come out doing the build of WrestleMania between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Barely was fucking mentioned. The nigga was barely mentioned in the entire build of the Cody Rhodes and John Cena match. John Cena's a heel and had nobody. He didn't have no cronies. He didn't have no vision. He didn't have anything. He didn't have shit. So when he finally did turn back face, it was the proper thing to do because the heel turn sucked. It wasn't good. It fucking sucked. And yes, that's on Cena. That's on Triple H because he couldn't book it properly. But at the same time, he did exactly what y'all wanted him to do. He gave you Randy Orton match. That was the first match he gave you. Was the Randy Orton match. He gave you CM Punk. He gave you R-Truth. He gave you all of that shit. And y'all sat there and was like, man, this booking sucks. Like, what the fuck are you doing? This is the thing, man. I'm gonna say that, like I said, the booking of Triple H has been fucking horrendous this fucking year. It has been fucking horrendous. He cannot book shit properly. If it is true that Randy Orton was supposed to come out there and help Drew kind of win, you could have had Randy. This is what I would have done. I would have had Randy Orton come out there, and I would have still had Cody win the match. I would have still kept the belt on Cody. What the fuck is the point of taking the belt off of Cody in his first fucking title defense? That's stupid. That's very fucking dumb. I would have had Cody win the match, but I would have had so much outside interference. I would have had Randy Orton come out and screw Drew McIntyre, and Cody sees it. And Cody sees it, and he's like, "What the fuck? Why are you here?" Or Cody doesn't see it. Him and the ref are both down. Randy Orton comes out and RKO's Drew McIntyre and punch kicks him in the head or some shit. But Drew would have a claim to get back the title match. He would have a claim to why him and Cody need to run it back. Like, let's say Saturday main event in Utah. Perfect example. You could have Cody and Drew at Saturday main event in Utah. But for the weeks leading into that match, you have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton having a problem. Drew McIntyre. What did Drew McIntyre tell Cody Rhodes during the contract signing? What did he write on Twitter? Thank you, Cody. Why did he do that? He literally told Cody why he did that. He said, because out of all of the people, all I wanted was a fair title shot. That's it. I just wanted a fair title shot, and you're going to give me that. Cody could have still won the match. You could have still set up Crown Jewel with him and set. But if Randy came out and screwed Drew out of the title, Drew has a problem now with Cody because he can now sit there and say, I need another title match because it wasn't clean. Randy Orton helped you. And Cody can be like, I didn't tell him to do that. He did that shit on his own. That's not my fault. But it also builds Randy Orton's heel turn. It builds his heel turn. Randy Orton's like, if it wasn't for me, Cody, your ass would have lost the title because Drew had your ass beat on numerous occasions in that match. And if it wasn't for me, your ass wouldn't be champion right now. You could have had Randy run interference, and Cody still could have kept the belt. You did not have to have Cody beat Drew clean. That was very stupid. Because now, what the fuck do you do with Drew? He has no claim to the WWE Championship. There's no reason for him to have the WWE Championship. That'd be very stupid. And also, it kind of it undermines when Randy Orton wants to go heel. What's the purpose of him going heel when he doesn't have a actual reason to go heel yet? That would have been perfect if Randy came out, screwed Drew, but Cody goes up to Randy and is like, why the fuck would you do that? I ain't asked you to do that. And Randy goes off, he finally snaps on Cody. He's like, man, what the fuck you coming at me with this bullshit for? If it wasn't for me, your ass wouldn't be champion right now. I think you need to start thanking me. As a matter of fact, you could thank me with a title match. You had a chance to build something, and you didn't do it. So I totally agree with that. WrestlePalooza was stupid. The two matches I said was sucked. the two matches I said was sucked. Yeah. But it all goes back to the heel turn of John Cena. It all goes back to the heel turn of John Cena. The Rock inserted himself into that story, creating that story out of thin fucking air, and then immediately taking himself out of it. Completely and utterly fucked up plans. Because if you remember, we were chugging along on the road to WrestleMania. Chugging the fuck along. And then The Rock just out of nowhere on social media just makes a fucking announcement. He's going to be on Friday Night SmackDown in New Orleans. Why? And then he comes out there and he tells everybody, hey, we're going to bring New Orleans, WrestleMania to New Orleans. That clearly isn't happening now. But then he brings out Cody Rhodes. And him and Cody Rhodes have a conversation. And he's like, he tells Cody Rhodes, I want your soul, Cody. Everybody's looking around like, what the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? And then The Rock continues to send Cody gifts and shit and leads all the way to Saturday when he finally turns heel. When John Cena finally turns heel. Everything about that fucking storyline is why creative is where it is today. Every single thing about that storyline is for why creative is where it's at today in WWE. John Cena's heel turn, Cody Rhodes WWE Championship situation, and Triple H. Triple H has had one foot in, one foot out. Because he knows what the fuck they want to do. And that's give it to The Rock. Triple H was chugging the fuck along, and then out of nowhere, The Rock just says, I'm going to SmackDown. Now he's got to throw all of his creative plans out the fucking window just to capitulate to this motherfucker here. And he can't do anything because TKO owns the fucking company. He can't do a damn thing because the company is owned by TKO. So he can't tell him no. He can't say, hey, Rock, no, I don't want you on this fucking because it's just gonna lead to nothing. It's gonna lead to absolutely fucking nothing. So me bringing you on this show, knowing you're probably not gonna be a part of WrestleMania plans, would be very stupid. But he can't say that. Everything wrong with the booking of WWE today can go all the way back to Elimination Chamber. All of it. Every single fucking step of it. The booking of WWE wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as it is now. It's fucking horrendous now. It's fucking bunch of nothings and bunch of fucking storyline here and kind of okay over here. SmackDown is just unwatchable. But it can all go back to fucking and look at John Cena's heel turn now. You got Randy Orton. You got the CM Punk match. You got the R-Truth situation. You dropped the belt back to Cody Rhodes. But that whole heel turn didn't need to happen. It was stupid. It led to nothing. John Cena won the 17th time. He won the 17th title of his career, and not a motherfucking soul cared about this title run. Is that really how y'all thought this fucking shit was supposed to go? Because again, yeah, you could blame Triple H for this shit because he was supposed to book this shit better. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to book some shit when the nigga just drop a bag in your hands and be like, all right, cool. No, motherfucker, why you drop this bag in my hand? The fuck is going on with you, nigga? The Rock fucked up the booking. The Rock story of him getting Cody Rhodes' soul fucked up the booking. And we can sit here and debate this shit to the day we die. Again, I'm not completely and utterly taking, Triple H, like saying Triple H has nothing to do with this. No, he has a lot to do with this. But the booking since then has been terrible. Perfect example. Look at January 6th when they went to Netflix. Go look at that show. Go look at that. That is a perfect example of the storyline that died right in front of our fucking eyes. That is the perfect example of a storyline dying right in front of our fucking eyes. Roman Reigns wins the Ula Fala back. Instead of The Rock coming out and challenging Roman for the Ula Fala, he puts it over his fucking neck and just walks out the ring and the segment's over. And we're just sitting there like, so what the fuck was that? That is my problem. 100% blame Triple H for this fuck shit. He is 100% blamed for this. But like I said, the booking wasn't fucking bad. As bad as it is now. A lot of these PLEs have been subpar. It's been mid as fuck. Backlash was decent. I truly believe the thing that saved Backlash was Becky and Laura. I mean, Penta and Dom had a pretty good match. I can't remember what else is on Backlash outside of Randy Orton and John Cena after that. I can't really remember what else is on Backlash like that. You had what was the PLE at the Backlash? Shit. Crown Jewel? I think it was. Yeah, Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel was after that. Crown Jewel was after that. And Crown Jewel was alright. It wasn't a crazily bad pick. But again, you gotta realize the first couple of opponents for John Cena was what people wanted. Randy Orton, CM Punk. I mean, Randy Orton, R-Truth, CM Punk. That was pretty much the first three opponents after John Cena won the title. So when people sit there and act like John Cena, because this is something else I always see. Triple H is trying to ruin John Cena's retirement tour. Huh? You mean the nigga that gave John Cena exactly what he wanted the first 3 matches that he actually had as a champion? He got the first person he fought for the title was Randy Orton. The second person he fought, the first person he fought was Randy Orton. The second person he fought was R-Truth on Saturday Night Main Event. The third person he fought was CM Punk. Third person he fought was CM Punk. That was his second actual title defense. And then you had a Money in the Bank match with, and this is what the fuck this John Cena heel turn, the John Cena booking really did go down here after this. You had John Cena team with Logan Paul for some fucking reason to go against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. You had 2 champions in one fucking match. Something else I have a problem with AEW's All Out, which was you had 2 champions in one fucking match for one title. And then the next time we see John Cena, who is he wrestling? Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Who is he wrestling? Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. And he finally turned back face. So when I hear people sit here and say John Cena's heel turn, when I hear people say Triple H is trying to ruin John Cena's run or this last of his retirement tour, I remind you on how this shit started. And I know you don't want to hear it because you don't want to believe yourself, don't want to believe it. If The Rock would have just stayed his ass out of this booking, none of this should have happened. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do with Cody at WrestleMania. At this point, looking at it, it should have been Punk and Cody. Should have been Punk and Cody. And John Cena could have fought Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. I always felt like John Cena should have got the Grand Slam title over being a 17-time champion. I always felt that way. I thought it would have been way better. He could have had the Intercontinental Invitational or the Intercontinental Open Challenge, and he could have gave a bunch of fucking young kids a chance. And then when he finally got to this point in the year, he could have gave that bitch to Penta, he could have gave that bitch to Dragon Lee, and we could have just could have gave it a dime. Fuck, he could have had dime, beat him in the Survivor Series. He could have did so many other things. He should have won he should have won the Intercontinental Championship. I look back at this time now and I'm like, all of this shit, all of this bad booking, we can relate it right back to when The Rock jumped his ass into this story. And they haven't been able to fix it since. Now, I'm not going to say The Rock fucked up every damn thing. No. But this half in, half out shit that John Cena has been doing, Triple H has been doing since particularly that fucking Friday Night SmackDown when The Rock came back, he has been in and out of booking. He's had one foot in, one foot out since then. I don't know what the fuck is. And again, we keep forgetting these reports that came out. We keep forgetting these reports that keep coming out was like, there is a fucking tug. There's a power struggle behind the scenes between Triple H and The Rock. The Rock, who's on the board of TKO. There is a power struggle. I truly believe that shit. Because look at Triple H's situation. He's had one foot in, one foot out. Ever since The Rock came back that fucking Friday night and inserted his ass into the guy and inserted his punk ass into the fucking, Cody Rhodes, John Cena plans, particularly Cody Rhodes, they have not been able to fix it. The reason why Cody Rhodes' title matches feel a little bit weird and off It's because of that. It's because of that. It feels weird. It feels off because of that. Saturday night, you can date it all the way back to when The Rock jumped his ass into the storyline. And Triple H has had 1 foot in, 1 foot out of booking ever since then. And again, it's his problem. He's done this. I have said this numerous times. Triple H does not know when it's time to fucking pivot and long-term storytelling. Sometimes you do not have to have a story play the fuck out for 7 fucking months. That's ridiculous. Get me 3 months. Once you start to brawl it up, cut it. But that's just yeah man. Something else I know people are not gonna like on social. I don't think WWE has a real future star. I saw CM Punk say this just recently. I've seen certain people say this. I don't think WWE has a future star. I don't. I think WWE. I'll tell you this. I think AEW has more of a future in Kyle Fletcher than WWE has in Drew McIntyre and Drew McIntyre. Lord have mercy. Dominic Mysterio in Braun Breaker. I think Kyle Fletcher is more of a star in AEW than Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio is in WWE. I think they're forcing Dominic and Braun to be the stars, to be the guys, and they're not. Just because you bark, just because you hear people barking on TV, Braun Breaker is literally Goldberg in the ring, Scott Steiner on the microphone. That's all the fuck he is. Nothing more, nothing less. There's nothing interesting about this kid. Nothing. Once they finally break him off, and he finally goes off and does his own shit, he is literally living up to. He is literally doing. Watch the fucking PLE. What are him and Bronson Reed coming out dressed like? The Steiners. Got spikes on his jacket and shit. Paying homage to his pops. But at the same time, let's not act like Braun Breaker isn't really just Goldberg in a fucking ring. That's all he is, man. He's Goldberg in a ring. I don't give a single solitary fuck about Braun Breaker. Not one. Dominic Mysterio is another one. Dom is living off of his father's last name, and that's all the fuck he is. The best thing for Dom is that he's a heel. I don't think y'all believe that when Dom turns face, he's going to be this great fucking talker. There's nothing personal about Dom that I care about. Not a fucking thing. He is still living off of his dad's name. Every time he does something, it's about him being the greatest Mysterio and him being better than his father. So what happens when your father retires, bro? And that's not your storyline anymore. That's not your plot line anymore. I truly believe that Dom has nothing outside of his daddy's name. I don't care to watch Dom wrestle. He's gotten better in the ring. He's way better than fucking Braun Breaker, I'll tell you that. But I am not a super huge Dom fan. Is he funny? Yeah. Is Braun funny? Yeah. That's it. Once Dom actually has to turn face, you have to be relatable. And he is not fucking relatable. He's not relatable, bro. And I know people gonna sit here and say, yes, he is. No, he's not. Dom ain't fucking relatable. There's nothing about Dom that's relatable. Nothing. Your father is Rey Mysterio. The Mysterio name is legendary in wrestling. In America and outside of it. Your uncle is one of the greatest to ever do it, Eddie Guerrero. What the fuck is relatable about you? What? You have to relate to some fucking body. I can at least relate to Cody Rhodes. At least being from the South. I know the feeling of failing the first time, and then you have to figure some shit out. There's nothing about Dom that's relatable. Nothing. When he becomes a face, he can't rely on his daddy's last name anymore. He can't rely on that storyline anymore. He can't rely on Liv and Rhea saving his ass all the time. That's why I'm sitting there saying, man, y'all get excited for nothing. I don't think WWE has a fucking future. I don't think there's one person that WWE has in the future. To be honest with you, they do have a future. I'll take that back. Obafemi and Javon Evans are more of the future than Dom and Braun Breaker. I have heard this numerous times. Bryan's a main eventer. He will be a WrestleMania main eventer. No, the fuck he won't. Now, Vince Russo said this on social media, right? He said this on his podcast, really. He's like, Braun Breaker needs to change his last name, and that's probably what makes him a WrestleMania main eventer. I don't agree with Vince Russo a lot at all, to be honest with you, with his wrestling takes, but particularly, I don't think it's his last name, his wrestling last name, that makes him not a WrestleMania main eventer. He's just fucking Goldberg to me. That's all he is. He's Goldberg and Scott Steiner on the microphone. I don't particularly give a shit that he's Scott Steiner and Goldberg in the ring. I don't care. That's why I say I think y'all putting a little bit too much on this kid to be something he might not be. He might not pan out and be that. Same thing with Don. I think y'all doing too much with Don. Last but not least, before I get off here, last week NXT went crazy, right? They had an incredible homecoming show. A bunch of people came back, amazing. But it's particularly what happened during social media. TNA went nuts, ham on TNA. TNA went crazy on the social media, which tonight tells me it's going to be an invasion. It's got to be. There's no way around this shit. It has to be an invasion. You're now putting it, and this is something I said when Trick won his belt. I said Obafemi and Trick are going to have a match to see who's going to win the TNA championship. Who's going to win the NXT TNA title? I said this shit. You go back and listen to me when he won the belt. I said this shit. You know what's funny? Speaking of that, he won it at NXT Battleground, and I remember they had like 5 matches on the card. And I remember saying that night, I was like, NXT had no stories. They had nothing going on. I had like 5 matches. They had 5 matches. I think I gave like 3 of them like 5 stars. And certain people on social media picked it up. It was like, man, Battleground wasn't bad. Now you're looking at WrestlePalooza and saying the same shit. It's funny how I said that shit, and now a couple months later, this is what you said about WrestlePalooza. And I think WrestlePalooza was particularly bad. I don't think it was tremendously bad. I thought it was what it was. I thought it was mid as shit. It's been mid as shit. It's like every PLE, you got 1 or 2 matches that are really fucking good, and you're like, whoa, those matches are good. And then you got some shit that just storyline wise, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But what I expected NXT and TNA to eventually clash, because eventually NXT was going to make Trick and Oba fight for both titles. They had to have that happen. You can't just have JC Jane just win a title in TNA, keep the belt for a good bit of time, and then not think that might be a good idea to do again. TNA tonight, I think TNA is gonna invade the shit out of NXT. I don't. It's gonna happen in the main event. I expect TNA to go nuts. I don't know what this leads to. I know Bound for Glory is in like October. If I think they're gonna do an invasion. I think they're doing invasion. I think it's gonna be NXT versus TNA invasion in November. I've said this numerous times. One thing that's been hurting, particularly Survivor Series, one thing that's been hurting Survivor Series is that you continuously do war games and it leads to nothing. You're just doing war games, war games, war games. It's like, okay, can we get back to traditional Survivor Series? Well, in Invasion, we're gonna have a traditional Survivor Series type style matches, and I can't wait for that shit. Oh no, man, wrestling is what it is, man. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Listen, it is what it is, man. I'll be back next week. Matter of fact, I'll be back this Sunday to do NXT. NXT. Fuck is NXT thing? No Mercy. I have to think about that shit. No Mercy. This Saturday and this Sunday. So I'll talk about that this Sunday. But until then, I'm Brandon Janeau. This is Wrestling Life. Peace.